What's going on, guys? This is Mando with M Traders, and we're going to be talking about natural gas like we do every time I usually make a video. If I don't trade natural gas, that means that I might be doing something different, or I might like something very, very much for me not to do that. Now, we gapped up, right? We saw automatic rejection at 2.33. 2.33 seems to be a very good resistance. Now, something that I like about this is that you see it right here. It's kind of very nice rejection right here. Ooh, this is too big. Let's make it smaller. Right here, right here, right. It got rejected right here as well. So something I like about 2.3 is it tried to break it. It couldn't. It tried to break it again. It couldn't. However, it has not rejected fully. Now, keep in mind that that my SMIs, it's curling. The stochastic is curling. We are oversold. So it's just normal that it's going to do that. But I think the uptrend is going to continue. So I'm just going to read you guys excerpts of the report. So consumption-wise, the ECMWF, which is the European weather model, 12Z ensemble, which is 1200 hours ensemble, is bullish versus Friday's 12Z results. Projected TDDs are still 6.5% below last year level, but 10% above the norm. Projected TDDs, again, TDDs is total day degrees. It's plus 0.19 versus 12 hours ago, and plus 0.09 versus 24 hours ago. What does that mean? Oh my God, it's so much information. Well, it's not. What it is just that we have slightly bullish, more consumption when it comes to the weather models. And another one we have, summary, projected TDDs continue to rise but remain below last year level, while the deviation from the norm has moderated since Friday. However, non-degree date factors are largely supportive of consumption. So that's the key. Non-degree day factors. So what does that mean? It means that at these prices, even if the weather models are bearish, there's other factors that come into account that is not letting natural gas bounce lower. Examples: exports, LNG prices, European consumption. We have power burn consumption. How many companies are buying how much. We don't know if they're making the coal to gas switch. Is it increasing? Is it decreasing? Tariffs. There's a few things that might come into play here, and that's actually not too bad. We did gap up. We got rejected again, but I think the uptrend is still going to continue. The total supply remains very strong, but still expect year-over-year growth in dry gas production this year to be rather slow, around 1 to 2% by the end of December. So what does that mean? That means it's bullish, right? It means that even though we're still going to be growing our production, that means that also our consumption is growing along with it. However, this year is going to be a lot slower than, probably next year. And the reason why is consumption is getting higher. A lot of people are thinking, oh, we're going to go back to $1. Remember, gas, you cannot sell gas for free. Companies still need to make money on gas. So it's a commodity that, unfortunately, most Americans actually need to survive the winter, except if you live in Florida or somewhere hot. Otherwise, you actually need natural gas. It's something you cannot live without, and companies, benefit on this. It's like water, right? You cannot live without water. Maybe if you only drink beer. So the storage level outlook was revised higher, but Sunday's results are always preliminary, as the CFS B2, okay, so that's another weather model, it's not published until Monday morning. So Monday morning, we're going to be more 100% sure of what's going to happen. Supply and demand balance situation in the global LNG markets remain challenging as prices are still falling. So that's one of the things that we were talking about just, a couple minutes ago. However, local U.S. prices are already low enough to stimulate extra consumption in the electric power sector. That's the key. Supply and demand balance in July is projected to be bullish versus 5-year average, and definitely will increase if August contract falls below 2.6 to 2.25. Do I think that's gonna fall straight down? Not yet. However, if it does fall and we're somewhere back in October, September, and it falls on those levels, I definitely gonna buy the living, you know what, out of it, because winter is coming and the bills are actually growing slower than normal as of last week or 2 weeks, and they're projected to grow slower than normal. So that's one of the things that I'm actually excited about. Now, let me see if I can find something that I want to. So the projected trend line on prices, it's projected to go bounce this level close to about 2.55. So 2.50, 2.55 is what is projected for natural gas to go up before it actually dips again, because yes, fall prices are actually also low because it's not hot, it's not cold, the consumption is not there, and we're still in building season, or not injections season or build season. One of those seasons, whatever you put storage into, gas into storage. Anyways, so if you were again in our stock Twitch chat or Discord chat or whatever chat we were talking about, we did talk about, you know, the potential of this increasing. But again, it moves in waves. It needs to go in waves. Now, like I was trying to make a video earlier, but I had to reset. So I was showing when this thing reached right here, and if this thing stops from increasing a lot, when it reached this level right here, I said, you know what, this thing is going to come down. Why? RSI oversold. We were already curling in our stochastic, which is SMI. I love my SMI. That's one of the, I think, my indicators that I think I can work with best. And also here, you're starting to have the dead cross. It was going to cross it, right? And that's what I try. I like to try the SMI, especially when all three align. What happens with all three align? So you guys here, look at this. It's just a little something that I like to trade. People ask me, well, how do you know when to do something? Well, I usually rely on my indicators, fundamentals, and blah, 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 blah. I rely on a bunch of stuff. Now, we see here a rejection, right? This candles, you know, got rejected here as a support, then it broke it, and then it just kept going down. So we see it right here, two main positions. Obviously rejected. Let's go back to the 1 minute. Or 5 minute. It tried to hit it once, twice, 3 times, and it couldn't. So that's the first thing I saw. I saw that. The other thing that I saw is RSI was way oversold. We got almost to the 81, almost 82. I mean, oversold, overbought. We got on the overbought side as 82 on the RSI chart. Here, I started to see the SMI curling as well, and the stochastic is, which is one of the main important ones. Also, actually, all three. I like to watch all three. It also started to do in the red cross. So I did wrote it again halfway. I talked in my last video. I wrote it like halfway. I sold and I was waiting for a re-entry. I got stop loss a couple of times. However, I decided to wait for towards the end of the day. Then it started lingering around this area. I bought in about 16. I was able to average down to 16.38, and currently I'm still. If this thing opens at this level, I'm still up. So I do not mind that. But yeah, I usually trade the RSI. RSI for me works best. Because if all three align, check, 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 I'm going to write it down. It doesn't matter what it is. And then, of course, I have very, very tight stop losses. Now this is just the way I trade. Each person has their own special way. However, I think from now on we should start seeing some natural gas prices to start going up, or more in the bullish side. Especially after what we saw today, we saw that people are actually very interested in buying natural gas at this price. Especially, we're gonna have a very, very hot 4th of July weekend. We got a few weeks where it's gonna be hotter than normal. There's gonna be some weeks that are gonna be colder than or below normal as well. But the more we get into the following weeks, every Sunday the reports come out, we're going to be able to see what's the trend. Are we getting hotter? Is September going to be hotter than normal? I read from other articles, not from the analytical company, from other articles where they said that September, it was August and September are going to be hotter than normal, and probably October it's going to be above normal. Maybe not hotter than normal, but a little bit above normal. But definitely September they were talking about being hotter than normal. So I'm just getting ready to see if I can ride this wave all the way up, right? Especially when it was at 2.15, I said I'm going to ride it all the way up. I did solve several times, and was able to make some nice profits. Besides that, there's nothing else special. Important information: the August contract, which we are in right now, is considered to be fair value at 2.4. So 2.4 should be the fair value. That means that it's the value that we should be paying for natural gas. Currently, we're trading below the fair value. For September contract, the fair value is at 2.5. So now the fair value is starting to increase. Before it was 2.3, 2.4, 2.5. And this is based on several other factors that analytical company uses for providing this type of information. And I'm not in a position to even explain all the different data that they use, because it's hundreds and hundreds of numbers that they use. Based on 5-year average, end of the season, 10-year average, previous balance, new balance, DGP, IMP, TS, and all other stuff that I don't even know what that is. So I like to focus on the only number that I like, which is 2.4 for August and 2.5 for September. So right now we're in August. We are below the fair value. I do not mind buying the dips, and I usually I use my RSI. Once they're here, when natural gas is here, I like to buy UGAZ, definitely. But remember, RSI usually travels in the middle, neither up or down. But when it's down, look what happened. Again, this was like a perfect play. If you guys didn't notice, this was like a perfect play, right here, right here. We saw the golden cross right here. Horrible drawing. But here, you see, I think you guys are able to see it right here. Golden cross. We are on the oversold side right here. Oversold. So if you bought down here, you should be fine playing it. However, if you guys see here, what happened to the SMI? It curled, it went down. Yeah, it went down again, and it stayed in the middle. So this is, for me, it's not an entry. But if I bought here, I wouldn't mind holding until it came down and stopped me. And sure enough, once it came down, let me erase. Once it came down to this level, started curling, it just pumped all the way up, right? And it did the same thing. Overbought, dead cross. And it came back down. So again, the SMI, stochastic full, and RSI is the stuff that I use. Maybe you should have something else. But anyways, the overall picture, I think, is still going to be uptrending overnight. I'm probably going to wake up a little bit earlier to see where we at. Depending on my SMI, I might just sell and buy the dip again, because that's the way I play. That's the way I buy. So if you got any questions, make sure you guys sign up to my channel, subscribe. If you don't like the information, then don't subscribe, right? I'm just joking. Just tell me if you don't like something, let me know, and I'll be able to change it, or I might be able to add some other stuff. I'm open to recommendations, so make sure you do say something, have a comment. But if you're gonna leave a comment, make sure you give me the thumbs up. No thumbs down, okay? I don't like thumbs down. I'll find you. Now, and then I have links for the people that want to start trading. I have links on Webull, which I gotta make a video, and I'm actually gonna make it right after this one. I have Webull links, I have training links, and I have my links for Discord chat. If you are an active trader that want to have a community where you want to talk to other people, join. It's free. We don't charge. I do post a lot of the reports in here as well. So just make sure that you guys are subscribing and have the notifications whenever I post a video. You're going to know about it. You're going to be able to see it. You don't have to understand all those hard to read numbers of the reports that I put in my Discord chat, but you'll be able to understand maybe a little bit better. And hope you guys like it. So otherwise, have a good weekend, the rest of your weekend. 4th of July weekend is coming. I'm glad I do have a full-time job besides this, so I'm glad I'm only working 3 days, and I'm going to be 4 days off. So hopefully you guys also have the same exact weekend as I'm going to have. Remember, important note, Wednesday is the EIA report for natural gas. So it's not going to be Thursday because it's going to be 4th of July weekend. So it's going to be Wednesday at noon, not at 9:30. It's going to be Wednesday at noon. So it's going to get a little bit interesting. And then I believe they're not going to work for Thursday, and the market is going to reopen on Friday. So keep that in mind, guys. Close on Thursday. I think they open on Friday. However, the report is going to be produced on Wednesday. So good luck, guys. Stay green, and see you in the next video.